let's get started. Those of you who are here live and virtually doing it later, lovely to see you this morning. So I do my own practice. I go to my own yoga class. I think that's really important for me. One, because I love doing yoga, and two, to remind myself what it's like to be on the other side of the mat, to get some ideas and to enjoy the yoga without having to think about lefts and rights and instructions and keeping people safe. My yoga teacher said something in class a couple of weeks ago that really struck a chord. It really kind of made me think about the way I don't think it's necessarily our yoga, but I think sometimes it is, but maybe the way that we approach a more physical form of exercise if we do that. And she said at the beginning of the class, treat your yoga practice like a gift you're giving to your body. And I thought, what a wonderful way to describe or to start a yoga class. So I think sometimes we do come to it with that mindset. I hope you never do, but I know I'm guilty of it on occasion, of approaching my practice with right, I'm going to nail this pose, I'm going to really go for it. And that's when there's the danger of injury, and that's when yoga kind of loses that connection between our mind and our body and our breath and simply becomes something that we're focusing on our body. So let this practice this morning be a gift you give to yourself. If that means taking it down a level, if that means taking a rest, then do exactly that. It's really layered up so you can unwrap your gift and stop, almost like pass a parcel, at whatever layer you wish to this morning. So listen to your body, be kind, be sensible. And yeah, it's a nice gift. It's nothing nasty. It's a lovely gift. Let's start by lying down on our backs. Let's start that little present to ourselves by lying down on our backs. Maybe give your knees a squeeze this morning if your low back feels a little tight. I know mine does today. Actually, I've got a little tightness in my low back. So I'm going to squeeze my knees up and have a little rock or roll side to side. Funny enough, Jan, my sacroiliac joint is a bit tight today around there. So I'm with you this morning. Okay, little rock, little roll, and then when you've just eased out any morning tension from your back, go ahead and let your feet come down to the floor, a little wider than hip width, and you might just rest your knees against each other. And just pause there, see how that feels, maybe untucking your shoulder blades from beneath you, lengthening out through your tailbone. And that might feel, really nice and supportive for your back this morning. Or maybe you want to stretch the legs out in front of you. So you decide where you want to be, either legs stretched out with your heels rolled in, toes gently open to the side to release the hips, or knees bent, feet a little wider than hip width and your knees propping against each other. I'm going to keep my feet on the floor this morning just to support my back. And then the same with the arms. Maybe you want the arms simply resting alongside you, a little bit of space between your body and the arms, underneath the armpits there. Palms facing up if the shoulders are okay with that. But if you've had a bit of a week, or maybe you're feeling today a little bit discombobulated, a little bit disconnected from your breath, then a hand on your chest, a hand on your low belly, elbows resting gently on the floor can sometimes feel quite reassuring. Helps us connect with our breath in a deeper way. So you go ahead again and just do whatever feels comfortable there. Tucking the chin in, just elongate out through the back of the neck. Make whatever little movements you need to do to feel 100% comfortable there. And then some. And then take a moment with the eyes closed to begin to tune in to your breath this morning. And yoga really is that all-encompassing present. It involves not just our body with our physical practice, but our breath. Leading the movement, but also our mind, kind of giving us a moment to ourselves away from all the busyness that can threaten to take over the rest of our time. So let's see if we can just tune into your breath now. So take a few moments now to notice where you're feeling the breath in your body this morning. If your hands are resting on your body, you might feel the chest and the belly rising and falling, maybe one more so than the other. Some of us might feel it more in the chest, around the shoulders, maybe even in the face. But see if you can begin to encourage that breath to drop down into those lowermost reaches of your lungs, allowing the belly to get involved with that process, to rise and fall with each breath in synchronicity. And the body softening back in on itself as you exhale. Remembering that yoga starts and ends with our breath. So whenever the breath feels a little ragged or maybe a little fast, maybe it's a message to ourselves just to stop at that layer of gift and take a moment to gather our breath, allow it to settle before we continue. So if the hands are resting on the body, let's all just bring the arms down alongside you, palms up towards the sky, so we can have a little wiggle through the fingers, maybe a little turn of the wrists in each direction, keeping the fingers moving. Then we'll bring the arms out level with the shoulders, or a little cactus if that feels more comfortable space-wise. We'll all bend the knees and walk the feet back up towards your bottom, taking your feet a little wider than your hips, maybe about shoulder width apart, not so wide to the outside of your mat. We'll turn the heels in, the toes slightly out to the side. And then as you gently drop both knees over to the right, you're flexing the feet, maybe pick up your head and turn it over your left arm there as you begin to bring some movement into the spine this morning. Starting off nice and slowly. Can you untuck your shoulder blades from underneath you, broadening your chest, broadening your back? Take a couple of breaths there, enjoying that feeling of gently beginning to mobilize through the spine into the hips this morning. And then we'll come all the way back up through the middle. And then just have a little roll over your heels to the other side, relaxing the buttocks, a little flex in the feet. Again, sliding the shoulder blades out from underneath you. Again, trying to relax your buttocks, but keep a little flexing the feet to keep the ankles and the knees nice and safe. We're just going to take that movement from side to side with our breath now, nice and simply inhaling through the middle. Exhaling over to the right, maybe head turns to the left. Just continue now with your breath pattern, that little tick-tock of the knees from side to side. When you've done a couple of rounds, if it feels nice and you want to add on and unwrap another layer, bring the arms above the head, resting one hand on top of the other, beginning to open up in the shoulders. And maybe press your knees forwards in the same direction, press your hips forwards, in the same direction as your knees. So maybe you can feel that little bit more in your lower back. So if that's not nice on the low back, then we just lower the arms and keep the movement a little slower there. Oh, that feels nice. Rolling across the back of the heels. We'll do one more of those lovely stretches over to the right side with the knees, maybe head to the left, and then we'll come all the way back and take that over to the left. Lovely. Coming all the way back through the middle when you're ready. Lowering the arms if they're above the head and walking your feet hip width apart now. Let's bring that right knee up and in towards your chest, holding around the front or behind your knee. Relax your shoulders. Try and soften your face as you give that knee a little squeeze this morning. And then let that knee open out towards your armpit, if that feels okay on your hip. If not, keep it hugged into your chest. Opening up into the hips, stretching out through the low back. And again, if it feels nice, stretch out the other leg in front of you, keeping the heel on the floor, anchoring down through the back of the thigh. As you begin to open up some space this morning, heel stretching away, knee coming slightly out to the side of the body there. Take care those left toes don't roll open. Lovely, knee coming back to chest. Slide that left foot back in towards you, so you've got your knee pointing up towards the ceiling. And we'll hold on around the back of the leg now. Inhaling, take that right leg all the way up into a lovely hamstring stretch up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, bend the knee. So inhale, we'll take the leg all the way up, up, up. Whoa, I can see all those little legs moving. And exhale, heel to bottom. So remember, the leg doesn't have to be entirely straight as we do this one last time. A little softness in the back of the knee if that feels okay. And this final time, let's take the leg up and hold now. So taking the leg all the way up towards the ceiling, softening through the upper body as you start to rotate the ankle. Bring some movement into the ankle, maybe the toes start to move a little bit. Knee stays nice and still as you take that around the opposite way. Lovely. And then pushing the heel up towards the sky there. Feel that lovely stretch in the back of the leg as you cross your right ankle just over your left knee. Letting that right knee hinge open, right hand to the inside of the knee or the thigh, you can press it gently away. And maybe have that little shift of the weight from side to side. So you might want to stay here, pressing the knee gently away from the body, the foot flexed, adding that rock if it feels good. Or joining me in reclining pigeon, coming to the center, lifting your head and shoulders so you can hold on either behind your left thigh, or if you want more, interlace your hands around the front of your shin. Lower your head, lower your shoulders. So if you're holding on the front of the leg, just below your knee, you'll feel that a little bit more deeper. So if you need a little bit less, change the hold or even bring the foot back down to the floor. Can you really press that right knee away from you so you're deepening that stretch in the hip? That's the all important bit. Lovely, couple of breaths there. Oh, that feels nice this morning, stretching out through the hip. Release the foot all the way down to the floor, and then we'll bring the right foot down to join it. Let's try that on the other side. So left knee coming in for a little squeeze, holding in front or behind the knee. And then we'll angle that knee slightly out towards your armpits. Again, it might feel a little different this side, so you might want to keep this time the right knee bent, or slide that right leg out in front of you, heel pressing down, toes pulling back towards your face as you open up into the back of the right leg and get a little hip stretch in the left side of the body there. Lovely. Let's bring the knee back to the chest as you slide that right foot back in towards you, knee to ceiling. Holding on around the back of the left leg, let's come into those hamstring stretches. So inhale, leg extends up towards the sky. Might feel different on this side. Exhale to bend the knee. So we'll do that twice more. So you can always slide the hands a little bit lower down towards your bottom if you're feeling this a little bit more intensely. Or keep a little softness in the knee. One last time, inhaling up and exhaling down. And this time we'll take the leg up and hold. So heels stretching up towards the sky there as we return to those little ankle mobility exercises there, rolling the foot round in one direction and then a few circles in the opposite way. And then we'll push the heel up towards the ceiling. Feel that lovely stretch in the back of the knee, back of the leg. And then hooking your ankle over your right knee this time. Use your left hand to press the left knee away from you, keeping the foot flexed. Maybe you add that little shift of the weight from buttock to buttock, little rock side to side, if that feels good. And you might stay here, or again, if you want more, that reclined pigeon holding on around the back of your right thigh or just below the knee. So you're holding on the front of the shin. Head and shoulders come back down to the floor. And again, that all important factor of squeezing that left knee away from you. So if you can't quite manage that with the shin coming closer to your chest, go ahead and change the placement of the arms there. So maybe you can bring the foot down to the floor so you can really get into that hip. Everything else is just an add-on there. Lovely. Let's release that right foot down to the floor. Give that left knee a squeeze in towards your chest and then bring the right knee up to join it. So one hand on each knee, knees together or slightly apart. We'll take the legs round in a little circle now. Little massage for the low back. Oh, that feels nice. You can stay there or you can hook one ankle over the other and widen your knees, getting into the sides of the buttocks if that feels nice. And then decide how you want to make your way up and over to seated. You might roll to one side or hold behind your knees and roll your way up through the middle. Lovely. Oh, Sonia's slipped out there. Let's let her back in. And we'll come to seated. Sorry, Sonia. We're going to come to seated with the right leg crossed in front of left leg there. Lovely. So pop yourself up on a block. Sorry, Sonia. You're back with us now. Fingertips find the floor. We're just seated with fingertips on the floor. As you inhale, we're simply going to float the arms all the way up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, we'll float the arms all the way down. Lovely. So inhaling, arms float up straight in front of you. And exhaling all the way down. Lovely. Just one more like this. And you might choose to stay here just nice and easy with your shoulders this morning. Or this time, crossing one wrist in front of the other, we make the movement a little bigger. Arms come in front of the face and then out to the sides. Lovely, with the palms up towards the ceiling. Other arm on top this time, inhaling, forwards and up. Exhaling, opening wide. Lovely. We'll do one more each way. So one more with one wrist on top. And then we'll change wrists just one more time. Almost like you're taking a big jumper off. Beautiful. The arms are going to come straight up in front of you now, so you can interlace the hands above the head. Pushing the palms up towards the sky. The arms might be slightly forwards of your body if your shoulders are tight. Otherwise, above the head. Have a little stretch through the side of the body there, reaching up as you stretch up. Beautiful. And then pushing up through the base of your index finger. We'll take an inhale. And as you exhale, lower the arms straight in front of you. Hug your belly button back towards your spine. And feel that lovely stretch between your shoulder blades. Lovely. Coming all the way back up. Drop your chin now, so you can interlace your hands behind your head, or just bring your fingertips to your temples if your shoulders are tight. And then we draw the head back, elbows wide. And now gently draw the hands up, as though you want to pull your head almost off your neck a little way, so you're lengthening out through the back of the neck. Keep all of that going on as you pull the elbows back, take an inhale. Exhale, right elbow down, left elbow up, little side stretch. Inhale through the middle. Exhaling over to the other side, really try and keep that top elbow pulling back. One more each way, so feel that work in the side waist. Lovely, keep the head pulled back and slightly up. Last time over to the right side, and then the right hand's going to come down to the floor, and we'll take that left arm all the way alongside the head. You might look down, you might look up towards the ceiling as you find that stretch. And can you try and kind of push your ribs over to the left a little bit more, so you're getting that lovely bowing through the side of the body. Lovely. Take that left arm all the way back up towards the ceiling. It comes over the top of the head, so left hand just takes hold of the top of your ear and bring the head down, so ear dropping to shoulder. Try creeping those right fingertips a little further away from you on the floor. And you might choose to stay here, or picking up the right hand, really press the palm down as though you want to press it into the earth. And then as you inhale, take the arm out to the side, really strongly flexing the wrist. And as you exhale, slowly lower the arm down. Lovely. Twice more. Inhale, scooping the arm up. It might come up level with your shoulder. It might be a little bit lower. Oh, I can feel that stretch. Lovely. Just one more time. Inhaling all the way up. And then all the way down. Lovely. Let's go ahead and release the head. Just bring the hands down alongside you. Stretch the legs out, give them a little shake, and then we'll recross in the opposite way, or simply keep them outstretched. Choice is yours. So I've got left in front of right this time. Fingertips find the floor. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Straight in front of you. Softness at the wrists. Exhale, come all the way down. Lovely. Twice more. So again, you might choose to stay here this morning. If the shoulders feel a little tight, the chest feels tight, you can carry on doing this. Lifting and lowering with your breath, or we'll start that more expansive movement, crossing one wrist in front of the other. Inhale. Palms up. Exhale. Really feel those shoulders slide down away from your ears. Other wrist on top. So we change the cross of the arm every time. Beautiful. We'll do that twice more. So hopefully, if you're remembering, we'll even things out. Nothing bad will happen if not, don't worry. Last time, inhale. And exhale, lovely. Arms straight up in front of you. And again, we'll interlace them, pushing the palms up towards the ceiling. Take that lovely stretch as you inhale. Exhale, rounding the back. Push the palms forwards, drop your chin. Hug belly button to spine. Lovely. And then we'll reach the arms back up. Chin coming down. So again, you can interlace the hands. I like to free my thumbs. So my thumbs stretch down my neck and my head is cradled. Head pulling back. Hands pulling up, elbows wide as we inhale. Exhaling over to the left. Inhale through the middle. Over to the right, trying not to shift the weight across your sit bones. That's the hard bit, hey? Inhale. Lovely. One more each way. Oh, the temptation is that you kind of rock from side to side on your bottom. So top elbow nice and high. We'll come over to the left, and the left hand finally reaches the floor. And the right arm stretches over. Really let that left elbow bend in towards your waist there. We can tuck the chin in, we can look down, whatever feels nice for your neck this morning. And then again, try and push your ribs over to the right. So again, you're getting that little bowing through the side body there, deepening the stretch. We'll come all the way up. Right hand coming over the top this time, finding the left ear to gently draw the head down. Keep those left fingertips away from you. Option to stay there, or again, just hover the hand off the floor, pushing the palm strongly down. And then as you inhale, arm scoops up. And exhaling, arm comes all the way down. Lovely, twice more. If that's too much, you can always just keep the fingertips on the floor. Otherwise, that strong scoop, so the fingertips are pointing up towards the ceiling there. Last time, inhaling. Fingertips lead the way. And exhale, lovely. Bring the hand down, bring both hands down alongside you. Have a little roll of your chin across your collarbones there. And then go ahead and stretch both legs straight out in front of you. Pop a bend in your knees if you need to. And then as we inhale, let's reach both arms up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, coming forwards and down over the legs. So remember that lovely option if your back feels tight today, a deep knee bend and wrapping the hands around the backs of the thighs. Otherwise, legs are straight, softening the body down, chin tucking in. So the neck stays in line with the rest of your spine there. Lovely, walking the hands back up the legs. Now you can keep the legs stretched out in front of you or come to a little zigzag leg, right shin in front of you, and you're tucking your left shin parallel to the side of your mat. Trying to sit evenly on your sit bones. You can always keep the legs in front of you. Left hand onto your shin or your ankle. Let's take the right arm up and over the top. So really bend that left elbow now. Beautiful. We'll come all the way up through the middle and take a little twist round to the right now. So left hand coming across to your right shin or thigh, wherever you reach, or the floor in front of you. Sitting up nice and tall, maybe turning your gaze over that back shoulder if that feels nice. Lovely. We'll come all the way back through the middle. Left hand on your shin or your ankle, right arm up and over one last time. Option to stay here. Or next layer, left hand comes across to the right thigh again, and we kind of twist the body. We're twisting the body towards the right, but reaching that right arm over the top of the head. So we've got a little twist and side bend going on. Oh, lovely. Let's bring the right hand down behind the hip. Press the left arm in front of the face, stretching up on the diagonal. Option to lift your hips and take your gaze towards that back hand. Lovely, lower the hips, sweep the arm in front of the face and swap the legs elegantly. Left shin in front and the right one tucked in. Lovely. Right hand onto shin, left arm reaches up and over the top. And as you reach over again, try not to lift your sit bones. So try and balance yourself out there. Lovely, we'll come all the way back and take that little twist. So right hand this time comes across the body. You can just reach the floor or your ankle if you can't quite get hold of your thigh. And maybe the head starts to move to look over your back shoulder if that feels good. Lovely, we'll come back through the middle. Right hand takes hold of your shin again. Left arm reaching up and over, back into that side stretch. We can add that little twist so the right hand comes across the body this time, holding onto your thigh so you can move the body towards the left, but keep reaching that right arm all the way up and over. Lovely, let's come all the way back. Give the legs a little shake, and then we'll find our way round onto all fours now, guys. Hands under shoulders, knees underneath your hips this morning. Pressing the hands down and pressing into the tops of the feet gently so you feel that little engagement through your lower abdominals, supporting the back body as you find that nice tabletop position. And let's start to move into our cat and cow. So as you inhale, let your belly dip, your tailbone tilts up, your chin pulls gently forwards. And then exhaling like an angry cat, pressing into your hands, navel to spine. Lovely, rolling with your breath now, inhale. And exhale. And if you're feeling a little tight across your chest or shoulders, give yourself the gift of more space by walking the hands wider than shoulder width apart. It's a really nice one just to open up. Helps you open up into the back body a little bit more as well, so you can have a little play with that if it feels nice. Lovely, let's do that one more time. Moving with your breath now, inhaling, trying to keep your shoulders on top of your wrists as you round the back now. And then coming back to that tabletop position, looking towards the top of the mat, we'll tuck the toes under and just sit your bottom back towards your heels. So we're not coming into a child pose, we're just sending some weight into the balls of the feet. Maybe you have a little rock of your hips side to side. Some of you might want to walk your hands closer back towards your knees. And some of you might even want to come into that lovely toe stretch, bringing your hands on your thighs so you're sitting right back into your heels there. That's not going to be for everybody. Lovely. Whoa, let's walk our way back onto all fours and have a little pad out through the feet there. Beautiful. So we're going to take your right leg all the way back behind you, ball of foot to floor, and have a little rock backwards and forwards. I'm going to turn front way so you can see me in a minute. So a little rock back and forth. And then from there, we're going to take that right leg all the way out to the side, lining up your big toe with your knee. Beautiful. Hands underneath the shoulders. As you inhale, lift your head, lift your heart back into that cow pose. And as you exhale, round the back like an angry cat. And again, inhale. If this doesn't work for your hips, bring both knees back underneath you and continue with your cat and cow. Let's do one more. Leg out to the side, inhaling, heart pulls forwards. Really try and get that pelvic tilt up and then round the back. Lovely. Keep the back rounded now as you walk your hands back towards the left knee. Lifting yourself up so we'll all meet in gate pose, reaching the arms out to the side. Lovely. Hips pressing forwards. Take an inhale. Exhale over the top into a side stretch. So left arm comes over the top. Beautiful. Let's come all the way back through the middle. And this time, left hand finding the floor. So it's a long way. Take your time, hand coming down. Shift the weight forward, shoulder above wrist. Maybe that right arm stays there, or maybe you want to extend it across the top of the head. Or maybe you want to stay there, or maybe you lift that top leg. Oh, pressing the hips forward, stretching in opposite directions. Foot coming down if you've got the leg lifted. And we'll walk the hands underneath the shoulders, coming back onto your mat. Beautiful. This time pressing into your left hand, right arm, peel it open, turning your chest. Take an inhale. Exhale, we're going to feed the arm underneath, thread the needle. Again, if this doesn't work for you, bring both knees underneath you. Inhaling, open the chest, reaching up towards the sky. And exhale as you feed the arm underneath. Can we do one more? Yeah, of course we can this morning. It feels good. Space in the chest. And a lovely stretch in the upper back. Let's take the arm up one last time. And then bringing the hand down. Let's bring that right leg all the way back behind you. Ball of foot to floor, back to our little rock over the toes, back and forth. Now you might want to stay here or tuck the other toes under and join me in your first downward dog of the day. And we can start to pedal out the feet, maybe have a little shake of the head side to side. Oh, as you just loosen off there. Beautiful. And then coming back down onto all fours, flattening your feet, walking both hands over to the right side of your mat. Knees stay where they are. Our last little version of cat-cow. As you inhale, let your chin lift, let your belly dip, tailbone lifts, arch the back. Exhale as you round your back, bring your left sit bone towards your left heel. Go ahead and bend that right arm so you can rest your head on your hand. And really try and creep the left fingertips a little further away from you on the diagonal if you can. Draw the hip back towards your heel. Ease off on that stretch if it's too much, or again, go ahead and reach the left fingertips further away from you on the diagonal. A couple of breaths there into all of that lovely space through the side body. Beautiful. And then we'll lift ourselves all the way back up, come through the middle. And then both hands over to the left side of your mat, about shoulder width apart. Inhale, lift the head, lift the heart. Exhale, rounding the back, this time right sit bone draws back towards your right heel. Bending that left arm so you can rest your head on your hand or make a fist. And again, see if you can creep those right fingertips a little further away from you to deepen the stretch. But all the time hugging the hip back towards your heel. And again, we're breathing into the side of the body, back off with that stretch if you need to. Lovely. And then we'll find our way all the way back up to the middle of the mat, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Left leg coming back behind you this time. So again, go ahead and have a little rock back and forth over the ball of the foot, keeping the gaze forwards. Try not to drop your head there. And again, you might be rolling over the ball of the foot, getting into the toes. And then we'll take that left leg all the way out to the side now, just as we did before, lining up big toe with knee. Beautiful. Hands underneath the shoulders now. If this doesn't work, come back to both knees underneath you. Inhale, lift the head, lift the heart. Really try and tilt the pelvis up and back. And exhale, rounding up like an angry cat. So inhaling into that cow pose, tailbone tilts up. Maybe feel this on the inner thigh. And exhale to round. Lovely. Let's do that one more time. Little cat-cow variation. Keep that rounding through the back now as you walk your hands back towards that supporting knee. And then we rise on up into our gate pose, arms out left to right, pressing the hips forwards. Take an inhale. Exhale over the top. So right arm stretches over the top. Beautiful. We'll come all the way back through the middle. Hand coming down, 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 finding the floor. Oh, it's a long way. And then shift the weight forward so your shoulder is directly over the wrist. You might stay there. You might extend that top arm alongside your ear, lifting your ear towards your upper arm. Press those hips forwards. Maybe even lift the top leg. Flexing the foot. If that feels good, if that's no good on the back, lower the leg. Lovely. Let's lower the leg. And we'll bring both hands back underneath your shoulders, back onto your mat. Ready for our thread needle. Again, you can do this with both knees on the floor. Inhaling. Left arm peels open this time. And exhale, we'll feed the arm underneath. Beautiful. So weight drawing forwards as you take the arm up, opening up through the chest. And exhale to drop the hips back. Lovely. Let's do one more of those. Reaching, reaching, reaching as you inhale. And stretching underneath as you exhale. Lovely. We'll take the arm all the way back up. And then hands coming back down underneath you. We'll bring that left leg all the way back behind you. Option to stay there and just rock back and forth. Or again, pushing up to a downward dog. Again, having that little pedal out from foot to foot. And then find a moment of stillness in your downward dog. You can always come back onto all fours if downward dog doesn't serve you today. Bringing your feet a little closer together. Pop a softness in the knees as you press your hips up and back. Hands press forwards and down so you can elongate through the side of the body. Ready for some little leg lifts this morning. So inhale as you float your right leg up and back, turning the toes out. And exhale, release the foot to the floor. Other side, without wobbling the weight from hand to hand, let's lift the left leg. And all the way down. Lovely. Can we do one more each way? Oh, of course we can. Right leg lifting. And lowering on an exhale. Last time with that left leg floating up towards the ceiling. And coming all the way down. Lovely. This time we'll take the right leg all the way up. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, step it to the outside of your right wrist, outside of the right hand. Go ahead and slide that left foot back a little way before you bring your knee down, so your knee is well behind your hip there. Lovely. We're going to flatten the foot. Turn the right toes out ever so slightly, and just let that left hip drop gently forward, so we're getting a nice hip stretch there. If you're feeling a little compressed, you could always get a yoga block or a book underneath your hands there. You might stay here or bring your right hand to the inside of your right knee and gently press the knee open. So you're coming onto the little toe edge of your foot. Lovely. You might stay there, or you might reach that right arm up and start to lean your body back away from your knee. So knee rolling open, body leaning back. Beautiful. Let's slowly bring both hands to the inside of the front foot. Turn those right toes to point forwards. We'll take an inhale. And as you exhale, draw the hips back towards your heels. And maybe lift the toes. You can always keep the foot on the floor. You can walk your hands back towards you a little more. So we're getting a slightly different hamstring stretch from what we usually do. Ooh, lovely. Let's bend that front knee, plant the hands, pick up the back knee, and we'll step back into our downward dog. Have that little pedal out, loosen it off, little shake of the head there. And then we'll try all of that on the left side. So big toes and ankles coming together, finding that little leg lift on the left as you inhale, left leg lifted. And exhale to lower. Just one on each side this time. Right leg floating up on an inhale. And lowering on an exhale. Are you ready for that left leg? Inhale, float the leg up. And as you exhale, step or help it to the outside of your left hand there. I'm just going to slide my right foot back before I bring my knee down. Oh, lovely. You can come up onto your fingertips. You can always pop a block underneath your hands. Try and let that right hip roll gently forwards. Maybe turn your toes slightly out to the side. This might be more than enough. Or left hand to the inside of your knee. And gently press the knee away from you and turn your chest up towards the ceiling. You might stay there, keeping the hand on the knee, or you might reach that left arm all the way up so you're leaning the body back, body and knee moving in slightly opposite directions. It won't be a big space there. Lovely. And then we'll bring both hands down on the inside of the foot. Turn those toes forwards. Ready for our hamstring stretch? Take an inhale. Exhale, hips moving back. Ooh. So the hamstring is made up of 3 different components of that muscle. So just by doing this slightly different stretch, we're getting into a slightly different part of our hamstring. Might feel a little bit more intense. Let's go ahead and plant the foot, plant the hands, and we'll pick up the back knee and step back into our downward dog. Beautiful. Option to stay here, or let's start the body moving. As you inhale, let's take the body forwards to a plank, shoulders above wrists. And as you exhale, knees down, chest down, our first little chaturanga. Hands might be wider or underneath the shoulders, your choice. Inhaling into your baby cobra. And exhale to lower. You can always take a Sphinx pose instead. Hands under the shoulders to come back onto all fours. Rejoining in downward dog, hips nice and high. And from there, let's walk our feet towards our hands at the top of your mat. When you get into that forward fold, a nice generous bend of your knees, a cradle of your elbows, maybe a little sway of the body side to side, if that feels good. If you don't want to be in a forward fold, then just lift your head and bring your hands above your thighs there, just for a little bit of extra support. Beautiful. And then releasing the elbows. Let's slowly, slowly rebuild the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae. So come up to stand nice and slowly. You've been on the floor for a while there. Lovely. And when you get there, maybe take a little shoulder roll. Let me just adjust the camera so we can see there. You all right, Sonia? You're good? Good, good. Brilliant. So let's all stand at the top of the mat. I'll come round to face you. We're going to be moving our right leg first. So let's start to unwrap our layers, building a little flow, knowing that you can stop at whatever level feels right for you this morning. So first one, let's bring the hands together at the heart. Lift your breastbone towards your thumbs, soften your shoulders. Ah, here we go. Nice and straightforward. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Or they might touch above your head, and exhale, hands to heart. They might not. Sometimes it's nicer to keep them apart. Inhale, reach the arms up, either shoulder width or palms together. Exhaling, hands to heart. Lovely. And again, inhale. So knowing that you can stay here, or adding on this next time. As you inhale, let's add a knee bend as you sweep the arms out and up. And as you exhale, we'll hinge forwards from the hips, coming all the way down into a forward fold. Sliding the hands to your shins or your thighs as you inhale, so you can come up halfway. And exhale, folding back down. Lovely. Bend the knees, sweep the arms all the way out and up. Big breath in. And hands to heart, exhale. Lovely. One more time, inhale. Reaching up, exhale to fold. Finding your flat back as you inhale, heart pulling forwards, tailbone lengthening back, and then release into your forward fold, exhale. Rising up one last time, take a big breath in. Exhaling, hands down to heart. Okay, here we go. We're going to move our right leg first. So inhale, sweep the arms up. And exhale, forwards and down. Finding your halfway lift as you inhale. And this time as you exhale, step or slide your right leg back behind you. Knee can be lifted or lowered. Choice is yours. Inhaling, left arm reaches up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, option to extend that arm alongside your ear. Striking out through the heel, reaching the fingertips forwards. Take a nice breath in. And a nice breath out. Hands framing that front foot. We'll step back into a downward dog or come onto all fours. You can miss this bit or inhale forwards to plank with me. Exhale, knees down, chest down, coming all the way down onto your belly. Flatten those feet, take a little cobra as you inhale, elbows tucked in. And exhale to release down to the floor. Come up through all fours, take an inhale. And exhale, hips high, downward dog. Maybe walk your feet in a little bit so you can really send those hips up and back. You're gonna come back the way we came. So dropping your weight into your left foot, inhaling, right leg floats up. And exhaling, step or help it forwards, top of the mat. Lovely. Back knee lifted or lowered. Right arm this time, reaching up as you inhale. Exhale, option to extend it alongside your ear, if you wish. Lovely. Take a round of breath here, stretching out through the heel if your knee is lifted. And then bringing both hands down to frame the front foot. As you inhale, step to your flat back, top of the mat. And exhale to fold. Deep knee bend will rise all the way up, sweeping the arms up above the head. And hands to heart, exhale. I'll just come to the other side so I can mirror you. Are you ready for the left leg? Inhale, sweep the arms up, all of that on the left side. Exhale, forwards and down. How did that feel on the right? Do you need to change it this time? Finding your halfway lift as you inhale. And this time as you exhale, left leg, step it back. Or slide it back, knee lifted or lowered. Right arm floats up as you inhale. Exhale, maybe extends alongside your ear. Lift your ear towards your upper arm. Stretch out through the heels, stretching out through the side body as we take a round of breath there. Lovely. And then hands coming down. Let's step back into our downward dog or all fours. Optional vinyasa coming. Inhale to plank, rolling the body forwards. Maybe the knees stay lifted this time or lower them as you come down onto your belly. Little cobra as you inhale, tucking those elbows in. And exhale to come down. Lovely. Back onto all fours. Take a breath in. And breathing out into your downward dog. Again, adjust the position of your feet so you can really get that lovely stretch out through the side body. Are you ready to come back the way we came? So left leg floating up on an inhale. And exhale, step it forwards, top of the mat. Lovely. Left arm lifting as you breathe in. And again, option to extend the arm. You can lower that back knee if you need to. And keep the arm reaching up towards the sky. Lovely. Hands coming down. Let's take a breath in as we step to our flat back, top of the mat. And exhale to fold. Beautiful. Bend the knees, sweep the arms out and up. Big breath in. Hands coming down to heart. Pause. Okay, we're going to add on. So, sending the weight into your left foot. Let's find our tree pose with our right leg. So you might just rest your heel on the top of the foot this morning. You might want to use your big toe as a kickstand, or you might go ahead and bring that foot a little higher. You might use a piece of furniture for balance, that's fine. You might get rid of the legs and just work the arms. So lift up a little bit taller. Beautiful, lots of options. So if you want to add a little bit more, let's inhale and float the arms up, palms together. And then exhaling, opening them out to the side, coming back to your heart. If that's too wibbly wobbly, keep the hands still. One more inhale. Exhale, bringing the hands to the heart. I'm just going to turn forwards, lovely. So we're going to point that right knee forwards, lovely, taking an inhale. And as you exhale, step it all the way back, either into a high lunge, all 10 toes pointing forwards, or go ahead and lower the back knee. Let's arrow those arms up towards the sky, interlacing the hands, dropping the chin so we can once more bring the hands behind the head, just as we did at the beginning. Draw the elbows back. You can look straight forwards. You can take your gaze up towards the sky, gently dropping the head into the hands, coming into a little back bend. Or maybe reach both arms up towards the sky, palms facing in. Draw the thumbs back as you lift your chest up towards the ceiling. Lovely. We'll take one more inhale. And as you exhale, drop that right heel in, opening up into a warrior two. So we've got our left foot forwards, right leg in our warrior two. Beautiful. Bringing the hands together at the heart, and we're going to straighten both legs. Option one, we stay here. Or lift the toes of that left foot towards you. Lovely. We'll take an inhale. Exhale back into your warrior two. Bend the front knee, release the arms. Inhale, straighten the legs, hands to heart, maybe lift the toes. Exhale, rolling into your warrior two. Lovely. One more time. Inhale, feeling those legs working. And exhale, we're going to pause in our warrior two now, reaching the arms out left to right, stretching out through the feet. And then on your next inhale, take the left arm up and back as we reverse our warrior. And as you exhale, left forearm to thigh, top arm up, or up and over into our side angle. Lovely. One more time. Inhale, arc the body all the way up and back. Keep that front knee bent. Beautiful. Exhale, forearm to thigh, or maybe bring that hand down a little bit lower towards your shin or your ankle. Left arm, last time, we're going to arc it all the way back. And this time we're going to take a big wimble of the hands down to frame the front foot. Pick up the back heel, option downward dog, or take that left leg up and back. Three-legged dog, stretching the leg up to the sky. Lovely. As you inhale, roll forwards to plank, lowering the foot as you bring your weight forwards. And as you exhale, come down onto your tummy. All of this is optional. You might choose to wait in downward dog. Finding your cobra or maybe an upward dog this time, balanced on palms of hands, tops of feet. And we'll all meet in downward facing dog. Taking a moment, you might come up to downward dog through a child pose. You might stay on all fours this morning. Lovely. And then when you're ready, looking forwards, bend your knees. And as you inhale, step or walk to the top of your mat into your flat back. And exhale to fold. Bend the knees, rise on up, take that inhale. And exhaling, hands to heart. Beautiful. Let's try that last little bit on the left side. So finding your focus, find your balance. I'm just going to move to the other side of the mat so I can mirror you. I'm going to find that tree pose with the left foot this time. So again, you might rest your heel on the top of the foot. You might bring the big toe to the floor. You might find a little bit of balance on that side this time. I'm wibbly wobbly on this side. Lovely. So if you wibble wobble, that's fine. Trees sway in a breeze. Inhale, take the arms up towards the sky if you wish. Exhale, circle all the way back to the heart. We do that one more time. Don't worry if you wobble. Don't worry if you wobble. I'm wobbling too this morning. Hands coming to heart. Lovely. Let me just turn to point forwards. So we're going to point that left knee forwards, taking an inhale. Exhale, take that big step back. So you can always lower the knee. Pop a little softness in that back knee if you're in a high lunge, and make sure your shoulders are on top of your hips. Beautiful. So we're going to arrow those arms up, dropping the chin down so you can interlace the hands around the back of the head. And then maybe we're keeping the gaze forwards, elbows drawing back. Maybe you start to flick your gaze up towards the ceiling and gently lean your head back in your hands, elbows drawn back. Maybe you arrow the arms up, thumbs pulling back, coming into a gentle back bend. Beautiful. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, let's find our warrior two. So we've got our right foot pointing forwards this time. So take your time to get there, setting yourselves up, bending that front knee. And then we'll bring the hands to the heart as you straighten both legs. So you might stay there, or you might lift the toes of that right foot towards your face, balanced on the heel. Lovely. Let's take an inhale. And as you exhale, open up into your warrior two. So inhaling, hands to heart, maybe lifting the toes. And exhale, floating back into your warrior two. Keep that front knee squeezed over the little toes. We do that one more time. Inhale. And exhale, holding in our warrior two. Make sure you're not leaning forwards. I just thought I was then. And then as you inhale, right arm this time, all the way up and over. And exhale, right hand or forearm to your thigh. Beautiful. Inhaling, taking the body up and back as we reverse our warrior. And this time as you exhale, maybe that right hand comes down a little bit lower, if you wish. Last time to reverse our warrior, arm sweeps up and back, and then we take that big wimble at the hands down to frame the front foot. Pivoting on the back foot, you can take a downward dog, or again, right leg, three-legged dog, all the way up and back. And then roll the body forwards to plank, lowering your foot as you bring your weight forwards. Coming down onto your tummy, knees lifted or lower. You use that support if you need to. And then your little cobra or your upward dog. Lovely. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward dog. Again, you might choose to come up through a child pose. Lovely. Let's pause there for a moment now in our downward facing dog. Beautiful. And then widening your downward dog. So take your feet a little bit wider than hip width apart. We'll come back down onto all fours, so knees are wider than hips now. Point the big toes towards each other. Ease the hips back towards the heels. Go ahead and stack one hand on top of the other, or fists on top of each other, so you can gently ease the body down towards the earth now. Lovely. Sometimes when I'm in this position in child pose, and I've got my arms stretched in front of me, I can feel my shoulders kind of ending up around my ears again. And we've just done an awful lot to open up through the upper body. So elbows nice and wide for this lovely version here. Just take a couple of grounding breaths now, coming back to your breath. Ah, well done, guys. That was a nice stretch this morning to get us moving. And then when you're ready, slowly lifting up your chest, pointing the knees forwards so you can just drop your bottom to one side and give the legs a swish out in front of you. Again, be generous with that knee bend if you need to. Let's sweep the arms up, taking an inhale. Forwards and down as you exhale. Remember that option to deeply bend your knees if that feels good this morning. You just lower the screen ever so slightly so you'll be able to see me a little bit better. Lovely. Just letting go of any kind of desire that you've got to grab your toes or flatten your body over your legs. Just make whatever concessions you need. Remember, it's a gift we're giving to our hamstrings. Doesn't always feel it. And then let's walk the hands back up the legs. I'm going to slide that right heel back in towards you. Option 1, we keep it on the inside. Option 2, we cross it over. And option 3, we hook that left heel just around behind us. So we're sitting between our heels there. Left hand or elbow gives that knee a squeeze. And go ahead and take a nice big circle with the right arm into a lovely twist, hand behind you, or I'm just going to rest my hand on my low back. See if you can pull your chest up a little higher so you're sitting out of your hips as you create that space that the spine can then rotate into, or rather the chest can rotate into around the spine. Lovely. Try not to lift that right sit bone off the floor, particularly if you've got your heel wrapped around behind you there. Lovely. Whatever those legs are doing, keep them as they are as you release through the center, and then just take that movement round in the opposite direction. Again, lifting your chest up nice and high. Lovely. And then coming back through the middle, bring the hands down so you can unravel, especially if you're hand and cross. Give the legs a little shake. And we'll try that on the left side. So left heel coming in, we keep it on the inside. We can cross it to the outside, big toe pressing down. Or go ahead and hook that right heel round. Make a little space for your sit bone there, so make sure that you feel nice and balanced across your base. Right hand or elbow gives that knee a squeeze. Try not to lift your bottom. And then a nice big circle, with the left arm. Fingertips behind you, or again, just resting on your lower back so you can lift your chest. Turn your head maybe. And get that lovely stretch into the back of the body. Lovely release for the middle back and the upper back there. Beautiful. We'll come all the way back through the middle and take that little counter twist just in the opposite direction there. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Hands coming down. Legs out in front of you so you can give them a little shake. Beautiful. And then we'll bend those knees. Come back down onto your back. And then when you're there, maybe give both knees a little squeeze, bringing them in towards your chest. You can rock, have a little circle there. Lovely. And then we'll bring both hands to that right knee, bring the left foot down to the floor, knee points up towards the ceiling. Let's revisit that hamstring stretch, taking the right leg all the way up towards the ceiling. Lovely. So option one, we stay there, or stretch the other leg out in front of you now. Beautiful. Heel pressing down towards the floor. If that's too much, keep the knee bent. So let's all bend that right knee back in towards your chest. Go ahead and stretch that left leg out if you've not done so. Left hand onto your right knee. Just let the right arm relax alongside you as we find a little twist. So draw that right leg across the body into a little twist there. Lovely. And then we'll come all the way back through the middle. Keep the right knee hugged in. Slide that left heel in and then bring the left knee up to your chest. Both knees hugged in. Have a little rock, a little circle. And then hands to your left knee. Right foot comes to floor. I might take the leg up towards the ceiling there. Nice hamstring stretch. You can stay there, relaxing the shoulders, or stretch the other heel out in front of you. Stretching out strongly through both heels, so all 10 toes nice and active there. Lovely. And then left knee coming down towards the chest. Go ahead and stretch the right leg out if you've not done so. Right hand on the knee. And we draw that left knee across the body. That shoulder blade's probably going to lift a little bit. The knee probably won't reach the floor, but that's okay. Just enjoy that nice twist through the spine, a final spinal twist. Lovely. Let's come all the way back through the middle. And let's straighten both legs out in front of us now. Take the arms back above your head. Oh, have a little movement there, maybe a little arching of the back or stretching into one side of the body and then the other. And then slowly lowering those arms back down alongside you. Maybe just rolling across your heels a couple of times until you can allow your toes to just roll open there. Or feel free to rebend your knees and bring your feet back in towards you. So take a moment now just to get nice and comfy, just for a moment. So I hope there's never an occasion where we wake up and think, oh God, I've got to go to yoga. I hope instead that we see every practice as an opportunity to show ourselves a little bit of TLC, creating those little pockets of time for ourselves. So giving the body a moment now just to rest and digest all the effects of that beautiful movement. Feeling a sense of gratitude for all the movement the body has afforded you this morning. Feeling grateful for the time that we can create to come together on the mat every week, sharing a practice, a gift of time to ourselves when time is such a precious commodity. I'll take a moment now to allow the breath to settle. Any little residual pockets of tension that you might feel, maybe around the hips and the shoulders, you might be holding in your face, can you try and let them go now? Ending the practice with that feeling of ease, lightness around the body. And hopefully a sense that we can carry forwards into the rest of the morning, maybe even into the rest of the day. When you're ready, without any sense of haste or speed or hurry, start to deepen and lengthen your breath. Start to bring a little bit of movement back, maybe just a gentle roll from side to side across the back of the head, a wiggle of fingers, a roll of your heels in and out if you're lying outstretched. And if you want to have that full body stretch, if your knees are bent, feel free to do that now, unfurling, finding that space behind you as you reach the arms back. And then lowering the arms, bringing those knees back in towards your chest one last time. Before rolling onto one side, right side or left, wherever there's space, really doesn't matter. Beautiful. Let's bring the fingertips just down to the floor alongside your hips. And as you press the fingertips down, you can think about lifting your breastbone up, but soften your shoulders back and down away from the ears. Let's take one last deep breath in together, reaching the arms up, maybe lifting the chin. Be lovely to say looking up towards some spring sunshine, but not today. Hands to heart, chin to chest, maybe tomorrow. We live in hope. And namaste. Thank you. My gift to you, gift of yoga this morning. There we go.